What's up guys, it's Joe with Strictly Commerce, back at it with another video. Today we're going to be going over 5 different ways that you could start Amazon FBA with under $1,000. So inside of this video, we're going to be going over 5 different ways that you could start Amazon FBA with under $1,000. These are going to be separate models that you could use and different ways to buy product that'll get you started with this business, and you could branch out into other models as you go further on down your journey. With this in mind, we're going to be finding different ways and different strategies that you guys can use to start with as little as $100 and all the way up to $1,000. So this is going to be a way for you guys to start with a very low budget in order to maximize profits and allow beginners to get in without spending a lot of money. The first model or the first method that we're going to be going over is going to Goodwill and buying books to resell on Amazon.com. This model, you could start with as little as $100 and you could start buying books for fractions of a dollar and reselling them on Amazon. This model is going to be very labor intensive because you're going to have to go to Goodwill stores and purchase a ton of different books, as well as scan a ton of different items to find the good ones. Some things that I've heard is that you should really go for nonfiction books, and also textbooks do really well. However, I myself have never started with books because I started with drop shipping back in the day. This is going to be one for those of you that don't have a lot of money to start nor a little experience, and you could basically go to these stores and just start buying books and scanning everything that's in there, looking for good ones with the Amazon Seller app or Scoutify 2 or Seller Amp, whatever software that you desire. When you get inside of the store, you're going to want to scan, like I said, look for textbooks, nonfiction books, as well as books in good condition, and see what you could purchase them for. And then also, once you scan them, see what the sales rank is, because the lower the sales rank, the more that the item sells. And then look at what your profit is. There's going to be a lot of items where you could buy them for less than $1 and sell for a payout of $5, $6, maybe even $10 a piece. With textbooks, that number could jump up a lot higher into the $50 to $100 range if it's a really good textbook. So the second model to start with under $1,000 is that you're going to want to Ungate, Nike, or Adidas and start going to the retail outlets to purchase product. These outlets have a ton of different items that you could purchase for resale on Amazon.com. Once you get them ungated, if you want to learn how to get them ungated, check out our ungating video. It'll be linked in the description. Once you're ungated, you can actually go to these outlets and start scanning things with your phone, like I said, with the Amazon Seller app, or you could use Scoutify 2, or you could use Seller Amp, and seeing what these items will sell for. These products are going to be pretty expensive to purchase, in the $20 to $100 range per unit. However, you will be able to make profits of up to $20 to $50 per unit on items that you're purchasing. So although you can't buy too many with $1,000, you can go into the store, buy a couple good items, and easily make $100 or $200 profit in a day with little to no effort, maybe even less than an hour's worth of work inside of the store. These outlet stores have a ton of different items that you guys can purchase because they are all discounted items and they're in brand new condition. So all you need to do is scan, look for good sales ranks, also look for coupons and sales that are going on locally, and then once you scan the items, see what they sell for on Amazon, bring them back home and repackage them, and then send them off to FBA. The third method is purchasing used electronics from eBay and reselling them on Amazon.com. There is a ton of spread in eBay products, especially in the used electronics game, because you could pick these up for a fraction of retail and sell them for close to retail prices on Amazon.com. Even if they're just slightly used or refurbished, you're going to be able to buy these items, reset them, and then resell them on FBA. These items, once they're sent into FBA, are going to sell a ton, and if they have good sales ranks, you're going to make sales all day with them. These items are really good because they're most of the time refurbished, and the used game is a lot less saturated than the new game. So you could buy a router for $10 to $15 on eBay and sell it for $50 to $100 on Amazon and make a really good spread. So if you look for good items and find really good quality items where you can make large spreads, you don't even have to do a lot of items to make a lot of money. And you could stretch your $1,000 really far and even 2x your money with your first flip if you buy the right items properly. Just make sure you keep in mind that these are used items, so they're not going to be able to sell for as much as new, but you're not going to be competing with new sellers. Strictly look for what they can sell for in the used market on Amazon. The fourth method is one of my favorites, and it's called online arbitrage. With this model, we're going to be purchasing items from online retailers such as Walmart, Sam's Club, Target, Walgreens, CVS, and retailers like these, and then repackaging and then reselling the items on Amazon.com. With this model, it's pretty easy because you're going to be sitting on your computer and searching for the products based off of what sales are going on, as well as what deals you can find, as well as which items you could actually sell for a flip. And then all you'll do is purchase them on the online site just as you would as a customer, have them sent to your house, then you're going to repackage them and send them off to FBA. This model is extremely scalable, and you could scale this from anywhere down to $1,000 all the way up to millions of dollars in revenue. And there's multiple sellers that with online arbitrage specifically sell multiple millions per year just from purchasing from these online retailers. Just keep in mind that this is pretty saturated and there are a lot of different sellers doing this. However, you can find really good flips and you can get in, get out, and make your money, as well as you can go deep on a lot of items and sell them for months at a time. This model is really good. The final opportunity to start selling on Amazon with under $1,000 is to purchase from wholesalers. This method is going to be really hard with your budget of $1,000 because there are a lot of wholesalers that will not let you purchase anything less than $1,000 worth of product, and you will need to actually have a little bit of startup costs involved that we'll talk about later. So with this model, you're going to have to really be specific in the items you buy and find a wholesaler that's willing to make a $500 to $1,000 order. However, this is the method that can take you up to hundreds of millions in sales if you wanted to take it to that scale of business over the next decade or so. Wholesale is really the bread and butter of Amazon because you could repurchase the same items over and over again and establish long-term business relationships with suppliers and purchase a large scale of items, even by the truckload. This is a little bit harder to start with under $1,000 because a lot of wholesalers have MoQs. However, if you find the right ones, you can get started and start scaling slowly into bigger wholesale and basically just doing the same thing at a larger scale. So now that you know 5 different ways to actually start selling on Amazon.com using the FBA program with under $1,000, what do you need to get started? There's 5 things that you're going to need to get started, and these 5 are critical and basically non-negotiable. The first thing you're going to need is an LLC or a legal entity to actually start selling on Amazon with. This is not 100% necessary to start with items like retail arbitrage or Goodwill or Nike and Adidas, even with online arbitrage. However, it's highly recommended because if you're taking this seriously, you're going to want a separate entity to do business under, and also this will allow you to scale a lot further down the line. The next thing you're going to need is an Amazon Seller Central account. I recommend getting the paid version because it's a lot easier to use this one, and you're going to need it if you want to take this seriously. The third thing you're going to need is Keepa. This is non-negotiable because you need some type of software to see which items are good. Keepa will allow you to scan in store as well as check on websites how good items are based off their sales history, sales price, number of competitors, and the sales rank. The fourth thing you're going to need for RA is a software to scan with, either the Amazon Seller app, the Scoutify 2 app that comes with Inventory Labs, or the Seller Amp app. These 3 apps are going to allow you to scan items in store, see what they're selling for, what you can actually make after FBA fees, and overall evaluate if it's a good item or not while you're in the store. You'll just download them onto your phone on iOS or Android, and then you can scan any barcode inside of the store and see what listing it pops up with on Amazon, as well as where you could sell it. The final thing you're going to need, number 5, is a prep center or prepping supplies. You're going to have the opportunity to either prep the items yourself and send them off to FBA, or send them off to a prep center if you don't want to do the work yourself. We have another video on our channel about when you should utilize a prep center. Definitely check that out if you want to learn more. But you are going to need to either send these items off yourself or send them to a prep center to get them prepped and ready to send into Amazon FBA. Just as a little bonus, the easiest way to find products is the methods that you don't have to actually leave your house for. In the long run, these will be the most scalable because you can obviously find items 24/7 on your computer compared to anything you have to go to the store. You're basically at the whim of what time the store is open, also what times the store is busy, as well as what stock the store has. When you're buying from your computer, you can access the entire country just from your home and not have to go anywhere, which ends up being a lot more scalable in the long run. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today about the 5 different ways you could start selling on Amazon FBA in 2023 with under $1,000. Thank you for your business.